Welcome back, Truth Seeker. As predicted, the Kansas City Chiefs have won the Super Bowl, and as I'm down here educating about in Louisiana, with all sports championships, with all award ceremonies, come human ritual sacrifice. Once upon a time in your elementary education, you probably learned about how ancient kings of the past, going back to the times of Egypt, they would do human sacrifices for their great celebrations, their great festivals. The same thing goes on to this day. And I want you to read, or I'll read this article to you from February 1st, 2020, about the brother of Morris Claiborne, number 20 of the Kansas City Chiefs, who in college played for the LSU Tigers. And of course, the LSU Tigers won the college championship this year. Then the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And remember, in the college championship, in the fourth quarter, they did a numerology lesson on the number 20 and the death of Billy Cannon. Morris Claiborne for the Chiefs wears the number 20, and in Gematria, death equals 20. Gematria is the ancient practice of coding numbers into words. If you missed the Billy Cannon, Joe Burrow ritual, we will revisit that again, but let's read this article first about Morris Claiborne. So the headline, Morris Claiborne's Super Bowl dream tainted by unexpected death of brother. And this is clockwork every single year. I've been explaining this to college students on the LSU campus this past week, and little did I know this story. Been teaching about 20 and death and this code. Now those who stop by the booth, they might see this story. They might recognize, wow, somebody was just on my campus talking about this. 20. Here it is again. Here's the story. Miami, from the moment Morris Claiborne's NFL career began, older brother Brandon Claiborne was his protector. After Dallas traded up to select the former Fair Park and LSU cornerback, 6th overall in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Claiborne brothers moved into an apartment near Valley Ranch, the Cowboys' former practice facility. So he was drafted by the Cowboys. He wouldn't let anything happen to me, Morris Claiborne recalls. We'd go out to stores, and he was always with me. He was always clutching me, holding me, saying, "Ain't nobody going to bother you." The pair fantasized about making the Super Bowl as a team, one brother on the field, the other in the stands. Sunday, Morris Claiborne's rocky 8-year NFL journey will finally lead him to football's promised land, but the dream will not be complete, no matter the outcome. The other half of Team Claiborne will not be in the stands for Super Bowl LIV at Hard Rock Stadium. And remember, this year New Orleans had the Hard Rock Hotel collapsed by the numbers that was synced up with the Super Bowl. I'm in New Orleans right now. That building is a real eyesore, and they haven't done anything about it. I guarantee you in a city that wasn't predominantly black, something would have already been done about it. All of this stuff is sick and racially based. Notice the majority of the people that are killed year after year are black. People of all races are taken, but it's black people who are picked on more than any other. The showdown between Claiborne's Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers will come less than a month after Brandon Claiborne's unexpected death at 31. Now, how many points did the Chiefs just win the Super Bowl with? 31. And this is what I've been explaining to people on campus. They choose people for the ritual sacrifice that have the numbers, the right age, for the planned ritual in the game. Remember, Kansas City Chiefs equals 64, and they've now scored a total of 64 points in Super Bowls. And Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl exactly 64 weeks after beating Len Dawson's 1964 touchdown passing record, where his girlfriend's father was in the stands and she dropped dead, or he dropped dead, the father dropped dead. And the Super Bowl synced up with Joe Montana's 64th birthday, which is June 11th, 2020, and Doug Williams is 64 years old right now, the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl who won it with the Redskins. But anyway, the brother died at 31. The Chiefs go on to win the rigged Super Bowl with 31 points. And just look at the final touchdown by the Chiefs. You can see the 49ers defender who has the last shot at him takes a bad angle on purpose to let 26 get by. It's a script. Now, the date that the brother died, January 5th, that date can be written 1/5, like number 15. Mahomes, number 15. 49ers in Gematria equals 15. That date, January 5th, can also be written 5/1, like 51. 51 points scored in the Super Bowl. 51. 31-20. Chiefs over 49ers. January 5th, 2020 was a date with 46 numerology. Sacrifice equals 46. Genesis 46 begins with the sacrifice. And he died 28 days before the Super Bowl. Kill 28. Reading more of the article. It's hard. This was my brother's dream as well, Claiborne told the Times. It was a big blow to our family. No one on the planet understood or sympathized with Morris Claiborne's uneven adventures, from a can't-miss talent to a journeyman beset by roadblocks, some self-manufactured, more than Brandon, his brother. He knows all the surgeries. And you know, the other thing is they code 42 in all these games, like, again, Doug Williams won with 42 points, Russell Wilson from the 42nd state, Washington, Missouri equals 42, Mahomes had 42 passes. Again, all three black quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl all had the 42 connection in it. Brothers in Gematria sums to 42, like the N-word, like slavery, like February. Code this number all over history. It's bigger than sports. But brothers equals 42. He knows all the surgeries, all the pain I've been through to get to this point, Morris Claiborne said of Brandon, who suffered a heart attack and eventually succumbed January 5th. You know, 31-year-old heart attack, this stuff only happens in the world of celebrity. 31-year-olds don't really have heart attacks. Anybody out there know a 31-year-old that died from a heart attack? It's poisoning people. These people are being poisoned. Claiborne exited LSU after collecting the 2011 Jim Thorpe Award, nation's best defensive back, and caught the eye of the Cowboys and Indians, who bartered the 14th overall selection and a second-rounder, 45th overall, to steal Claiborne, who was then rating All-American and SEC Defensive Player of the Year. However, Claiborne was plagued by injuries and never lived up to the expectations in 5 seasons with the Cowboys. He played in just 47. 47. What's my campaign? What is 47? They got to put it in every story. They got to mention it in every story. Kobe Bryant's helicopter crashed at what time? 9:47. 9:47. What is 47? Been promoting it for years. He played in just 47 of a possible 80 regular season games for Dallas and hauled in 4 interceptions along the way. Corralled 11 in his final 2 years in Baton Rouge. They mentioned that he was a 192-pound quarterback. Remember, Clemson Tigers equals 192. Remember when Tyshawn died July 5th, 2019, and the news broke the next day? I showed how his death was 192 days before the championship game, and I said even on my public account, I put it out for more than Patreon. Gave you guys a few good picks this year in the public. Gave you Virginia championship in Virginia for college basketball. Gave you Clemson in the championship in July 2019. And both of those were based off negative stories. One was shaming the black lieutenant governor in Virginia. One was the death of Tyshawn died. Dead at 25, like Clemson only scored 25 points in the championship. They would have had more, but the Zebras threw a flag to take points off the board. You know, Trevor Lawrence stuck on 25 wins. But yeah, I'll let you read all this. Then they mention after starting all but 4 of his 77 games. That's a big number on this Super Bowl. Chiefs just evened it up with the 49ers 7-7. 7-7. Jimmy Garoppolo 77. The numbers they're throwing in here, 100th NFL season, 100%. There's even more. Like these other numbers, 57 championship number. It's just the numbers they're inserting in the story are the numbers that are relevant to this championship game. And they're also probably part of the reason that this man's life was taken. His brother's life. And here they have Claiborne and Matthew, who both play on the Chiefs now. It's sick, man. Here he is in his number 20 jersey. Remember, death equals 38 and 20. His name Morris is 38. He's Morris Claiborne. There's a whole lot more to his name. Remember, the Chiefs and Niners played exactly 71 weeks before the Super Bowl, the 20th prime. That was the game where Jimmy G faked his injury. And Morris Claiborne even has 118 birth numerology, the death number in Jewish Gematria. So this man has fateful numbers. His birthday is February 7th, 27. The AFC just tied the NFC at 27 games apiece in Miami. Miami's 27. First all-red Super Bowl, Reds 27. And let's watch this Billy Cannon clip. I want to remind him the numerology lesson. You know, out of the hundreds of people I talked to on the LSU campus, out of the hundreds of people I talked to, only one person thought that maybe they remembered the numerology lesson from the fourth quarter of the game. I talked to hundreds of people. Only one thought maybe. They weren't sure. They're like, yeah, maybe I did hear something like that. So it just goes to show people are watching these games, but they're not really paying attention. This is straight from the fourth quarter of the LSU Clemson championship. They talk about the death of Billy Cannon and a numerology lesson on 20. The only thing they don't reveal is that the same day Billy Cannon died, May 20th, 2018, a man who wore number 20 for LSU. The only thing they don't reveal in this is that Joe Burrow signed with LSU the exact same day. Remember, Billy Cannon won the Heisman and the college championship in New Orleans over Clemson, just like Joe Burrow won the Heisman and then the championship over Clemson in New Orleans. Deja vu. So listen to this.
Spend your life living. Fourth post-game show coming up, including the presentation of the National Championship Trophy. LSU protecting a 17-point lead, 10-10 play the 2020 National Championship game. They believe a lot in the magic of numerology and signs down here, so they were thinking 2020.
I'm just going to pause this. Notice 67 points come up, right? Blood sacrifice is 67. Number that shows up around suspicious death all the time. Carly McCord, the daughter-in-law of the offensive coordinator of LSU. Her father's name equals 67. This ended up being the final score, 67 points. The over-under was at 67.5. Clemson did score another touchdown, a long 50-yard touchdown, but the Zebras threw a flag and took it off the board to keep it at 67. Again, it's all ritual by the numbers. The Zebras are there to ensure that the script is followed to the point. Now listen to more on 20. And notice he said 10-10. They're on the 10-yard line. The first down's at the 20 marker. Pay attention as you watch this clip. It's going to go between the 20-20 on the field and Joe Burrow, who in the background, there's an orange object behind him with a white 20 on it. Watch this.
Got a Heisman winner. The last one was number 20, Billy Cannon. 60 years ago, 3 times 20. Sadly, Billy passed away May 20 last year at the age of 80. 4 times 20. Yeah, well, Burrow preseason 200-1 to win the Heisman. 10 times 20.
Wow. Good stuff.
They believe in that stuff down here.
Yeah.
Right now.
It all adds up.
So.
And then, of course, winning with 42 points. Nola, the nickname for New Orleans, is 42. Remember, 5th Ward Weeby, the rapper, died at age 42 days from his birthday. It was Clemson Tigers versus LSU Tigers. Tigers is 42. Joe Burrow. Super Bowl 54 was 54 days after his birthday. The Joe Montana Bowl, Joe Montana 54. Trevor Lawrence fell to 25-1 on a 54-date numerology in New Orleans. 25-1 is like 251, the 54th prime. New Orleans equals 54. The game was 54 days after Dabu Sweeney's birthday. Just like in the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs number 54. The Super Bowl was on his 251st day of his age. 251, 54th prime. Same rituals all over the place. Billy Cannon. And you want to see the gematria on Billy Cannon? He won the Heisman in 59. Billy Cannon 59. Freemasonry 59. LSU Tigers 59. Run out LSU Tigers the big way. It's 1-1-3, like they won the championship on January 13th. And Billy Cannon died 86 weeks before that championship. Blood sacrifice, 67 forwards, 86 in reverse. Joe Burrow, second. So 2, another 2, just like all the 2s in the Super Bowl. It's all connected, college and pro. Chiefs get the second Super Bowl win. 49ers get the second Super Bowl loss on 2-2. Andy Reid gets his 222nd win. The Chiefs were the 2 seed. See the longer video I put out on it. We'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Till next time.